Hello again, and for those of you I'm meeting for the first time, my name is Scott Major. I'm back again to share more tips with you about successfully transitioning to a remote work environment. I hope you have been able to derive value out of the videos that we've been able to share, like change management and using Microsoft Teams. I'm a big believer in maximizing value and eliminating waste, which comes from my education in industrial engineering and my training in Lean Six Sigma. Knowledge bases like project management and change management are fantastic, but if you do not have a way to tailor the approach to your specific needs, then you may be injecting unwanted waste. For example, I suspect I would have a difficult time convincing a person who removes trees to develop a schedule. Why? Because the schedule most likely would not provide any value, rather than it would just be a waste of resources. What I want to talk to you about today is tailoring your project management approach. The Project Management Institute says that projects are executed on a continuum that is predictive on one side and iterative on the other side. Predictive projects are traditional projects, where we know what we are going to do before we start. Iterative projects are those where the output is less clear at the beginning and is associated with agile projects. The continuum between predictive and iterative implies that projects do not have to be one or the other, but rather they could also be a hybrid between the two. While right-sizing your project to the appropriate hybrid approach is a more complicated subject for another session, I am going to focus on what my teams have done to deploy hybrid models, where we are injecting agile concepts into our traditional models. The first concept my teams are using is a combination between a traditional schedule and an iteratively developed task list. The traditional schedule is in reference to a Gantt chart where we create a high-level expectation of milestones that the team needs to achieve. Because we don't know when and exactly what we are doing day to day, we create a living task list to manage the work that is aligned to our near-term milestones. This list creates a backlog of work that needs to be done, and from that list, we define what is specifically planned in 1 to 2 weeks out. This deploys the agile concept of sprint planning. The most common reaction I've received since adopting this methodology is that most people love working from a list. I believe it helps people focus on priorities and not get overwhelmed by the large goals that they don't know how yet to solve. A second concept that we have found that helps our teams is formal review of in-process work product. In addition to work product being turned over at the end of task, we've adopted a review process from week to week that ties into our task list planning. Now, when I say work product, I mean what we are producing as a result of the work we are doing for a project. Examples of work product could be code, websites, process mapping, schedules, business strategy, marketing plans, etc., etc. On a weekly basis, we are giving our team members an opportunity to present and review for feedback what we have been working on. Previously, reviews may have occurred, but they were informal and didn't get a full review from the team. We found value in this approach by getting more input faster in the process. This ultimately reveals one of the aims of agile development by failing fast. If a team member is going down a path that is not valuable to the project, then it is better to course correct than wait until. The last concept that my teams have found success in implementing is daily huddles. As a result of going to a remote work environment, more responsibility for performance is being pushed down to every worker. A daily huddle permits the entire team to resynchronize to the priorities for the day. Our daily huddles focus on the team identifying what their plans are for the day, and as a leader, I ensure that ties back to priority and that I am removing obstacles to them being successful. So that's it. I think these three concepts are easy enough for any team to adapt. If you're interested in learning more about these concepts or any other way to find the right model for your projects, please let us know. We are active on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram.